3, 2, 1.
Go!
We are going to be reading Diary of a Wimpy Kid. Let's get on to it. September, Tuesday. First of all, let me get something straight. This is a journal, not a diary. I know what it says on the cover, but when Mama went out to buy this thing, I specifically told her to get one that didn't say diary on it. Great. All I need is for a subject to catch me carrying this book around and get the wrong idea. The other thing is, I want to clear up right away that this was Mom's idea, not mine. But if she thinks I'm going to write down my feelings in here or whatever, she's crazy. So don't expect me to be all Dear Diary this and Dear Diary that. The only reason I agreed to do this at all is because I figure later on when I'm rich and famous, I'll have better things to do than answer people's stupid questions all day long, so this book's going to come in handy. Gregory, will you tell us about your childhood? Were you always so smart and handsome? Here's my journal, now shoo. Like I said, I'll be famous one day, when I was stuck in middle school with a bunch of morons. Let me just say for the record that I think middle school is the dumbest idea ever invented. You've got kids like me who haven't hit the growth spurt yet mixed in with these gorillas who need to shave twice a day. And then I wonder why bullying is such a big problem in middle school. If it was up to me, grade levels would be based on height, not age. But then again, I guess that would be kids like Trag Gupta would still be in first grade. Today is the first day of school, and right now we're just waiting around for the teacher to hurry up and finish the seating chart. So I figured I might as well write in this book to pass the time. By the way, let me give you some good advice. On the first day of school, you've got to be real careful where you sit. You walk into the classroom and just plunk your stuff down at any old desk, and the next thing you know, the teacher is saying, I hope you all like where you're sitting because these are your permanent seats. So in this class, I got stuck with Chris Hosey in front of me and Lionel James at the back of me. Jason Brill came in late and almost sat to my right, but luckily I stopped that from happening at the last second. Is this seat taken? Yes! Next period, I should just sit in the middle of a bunch of hot girls as soon as I step in the room. But I guess if I do that, it just proves I didn't learn anything from last year. Greg, will you please pass this note to Shelley? Why, certainly. And it reads, Greg is a dog. Man, I don't know what is up with the girls these days. It used to be a whole lot simpler back in elementary school. The deal was, if you were the fastest runner in your class, you got all the girls. And in 5th grade, the fastest runner was Ronnie McCoy. Nowadays, it's a whole lot more complicated. Now it's about what the kind of clothes you wear, or how rich you are, or if you have a cute butt or whatever. And kids like Ronnie McCoy are scratching their heads wondering what the heck happened. The most popular boy in my grade is Bryce Anderson. The thing that really stinks is that I've always been into girls. But kids like Bryce have only come around the last couple of years. I remember how Bryce used to act back in elementary school. Girls are stinky poos. Yeah, I don't think girls are stinky poos. But of course now I don't get any credit for sticking with the girls all this time. Like I said, Bryce is the most popular kid in our grade, so that leaves all the rest of us guys scrambling for the other spots. The best I can figure is that I'm somewhere around 52nd or 53rd most popular this year. But the good news is that I'm about to move of one spot because Charles Davies is above me and he's getting his braces next week. I tried to explain all this popularity stuff to my friend Raleigh, who is probably hovering right around their 150 mark, by the way, but I think he just goes in one ear and out the other with him. Wednesday. Today we had Pfizer, and the first thing I did when I got outside was sneak off to the basketball court to see if the cheese was still there, and sure enough, it was. That piece of cheese has been sitting on the court since last spring. I guess it must have dropped out of someone's sandwich or something. After a couple of days, the cheese started getting all mouldy and nasty. Nobody would play basketball on the court where the cheese was, even though that was the only court that had a hoop with a net. Then one day, this kid named Darren Walsh touched the cheese with his finger, and that's what started this thing called a cheese touch. It's basically like the cooties. If you get the cheese touch, you're stuck with it until you pass it on to someone else. The only way to protect yourself from the cheese touch is to cross your fingers. But it's not that easy remembering to keep your fingers crossed every day. I ended up taping mine together so they'd stay crossed all the time. I got a D in handwriting, but it was totally worth it. The kid, called Abe Hall, got the cheese touch in April, and nobody would even come near him for the rest of the year. This summer, Abe moved away to California and took the cheese touch with him. I just hope it doesn't start the cheese touch up again, because I don't need that kind of stress in my life anymore. Thursday. I'm having a seriously hard time getting used to the fact that summer is over and I have to get out of bed every morning to go to school. My summer did not exactly get off to a great start, thanks to my older brother Roderick. A couple of days into the summer vacation, Roderick woke me up in the middle of the night. He told me I slept through the whole summer, but that luckily I woke up just in time for the first day of school. Shoot. You might think that I was pretty dumb for falling for that one, but Roderick was dressed up in his school clothes and he'd set my alarm clock ahead to make it look like it was the morning. Plus, he closed my curtains so I couldn't see that it was still dark out. After Roderick woke me up, I just got dressed and went downstairs to make myself a breakfast, like I do every morning on a school day. I guess I must have made a pretty big racket, because the next thing I knew, Dad was downstairs yelling at me for eating Cheerios at 3 a.m. in the morning. It took me a minute to figure out what the heck was going on. After I did, I told Dad that Roderick had played a trick on me and he was the one that should be getting yelled at. Dad walked down to the basement to chew Roderick out and I tagged along. I couldn't wait to see Roderick get what was coming to him. But Roderick covered up his tracks very good, and to this day I'm sure Dad thinks I've got a screw loose or something.